So the Social Democrats had a good election here in Ireland, but unfortunately now that's all been tarnished now by one new TD that's in the Social Democrats who has to aside now. No, we're not aside, but the Social Democrats have kicked him out, which I welcome doing this, because particularly I get into the reasons why now in a second. There's a long thing to discuss here, but long story short, he was basically in a company that was basically supplying the Israeli Defence Forces with different gear, etc., and profiteering where he offered, for his own benefit and his own back pocket of shares of €200,000, which is a lot of money, and obviously, and it's insane amount, especially because again it's going to the Israeli Defence Force, and we all know what's happening over in Palestine, etc., at the moment, with innocent people being bombed, etc., and children and women being killed. And it basically it's war profiteering. Pretty like there's no other way of looking around it, and especially for somebody to sit in the Oireachtas. And again, it was never known. He didn't publicly state to the members of the public who voted them in. And I think if people knew that, they wouldn't have voted for him. Because nobody would want somebody like this. And to be totally honest, he should resign. He should be gone altogether. He shouldn't have a seat. So was that. Even as an independent, he should be gone. He should be kicked out. But yeah, I do welcome the Social Democrats got rid of him. But again, it's a huge amount of money, 200,000 in bonds, etc., for the Israeli army, a company that's linked and given technology to the Israeli army, the defence forces of Israel, etc. It's an insane amount of money. But again, he sold them in July. He was a city councillor beforehand. He sold them in July, just after he got elected, I think, to Dublin City Council. He's for Dublin Bay, out to that constituency. But yeah, long story short, he's profiteering with the war that's going on, and innocent people being killed, etc. It's up and shame from, particularly from the Social Democrats, and I won't blame Holly Collins here, because to be totally honest, I don't think they would have known. They can't predict what their TDs are doing, especially him being a new time TD. They can't know everything about them personally, what they're doing behind the scenes, etc. So I won't blame the Social Democrats for this, but they've done the right thing in getting rid of him. And to be totally honest, he should be got rid of altogether. He should be kicked out of the Oireachtas. No one near it. But they've done the right thing in doing that. But I won't blame the Social Democrats for that. But it's a terrible luck, because particularly the Social Democrats, Labour Party, and people for profit were always talking about the Occupy Territories Bill, which in my opinion too should be passed, because as we see in what's happening in Israel, it's terrible stuff what's happening. Innocent women and children being killed, etc. There needs to be the Occupy Territory Bill put in place here. Because too much, as I say, the banks here are basically financing it, and then aircraft are coming over here with weapons of war, going to Israel to bomb people, etc. It shouldn't be happening, simple as that, and the war in Israel should come to an end, simple as that, because far too many innocent people have been killed, and I'm sure everybody would agree on that, because it's just too much suffering for only people, especially just the people who are suffering the most, is the women and children over there, and it's not acceptable. And this state shouldn't be happening in any way, because at the moment we're basically letting it happen pretty much in a way. But yeah, he was asked questions outside Leinster House today, and I think it was nearly 20 something times he said he sold them off sometime before he got elected to Dublin City Council, etc. So basically he lied straight away to everybody. It'd be different if he said straight away as soon as we asked, yes, I did this and I did that, but he tried to lie about it literally for a long time today. But he finally had to admit the truth, because basically people already knew the truth. There was evidence there, and the evidence is right in front of me as I speak, that I don't know why he decided to lie about it when he was questioned on it, and that made it even worse. But again, I'm sure the people of Dublin based out wouldn't have elected them if they knew this about him. But it's not good enough that we have a TD that done this. And again, there's probably a few of them in the Oireachtas that have done this, that are profiteering from companies that have benefits with the Israeli army, different companies, etc. And that shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening, especially him being a former Dublin City Councillor too. I don't know what's even put down in his basically what you have to declare, what interests you have outside your council work, etc. I don't know what's that even put down. But the one big issue I have now with him being an independent, because he's kicked out of the Social Democrats, obviously he has links to Israel, his links to the Israeli army. There's nothing really stopping the Israeli government giving him a few bob to say, give us information what the Irish government are doing, etc. And I'm just saying this, I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying it's a risk to Ireland's national security having somebody like this. Because obviously he loves the money. Like the plain says, sure, he loves the money. The money speaks to him more than anything else. He doesn't care who's from as long as it's money. So it's simple as that. That's what it looks to me. And totally honest with you, but I might just say straight, that's what it looks to me. He'd do anything for money. Because it seems like he would sell his country out for money too. If the money was the right number, let's put it that way. So I don't think he should be in the Oculus. I think he's a national security risk. Because I don't think the media have talked about this. It could be given information too along with that, if he was a member of the Oculus, what's happening in the Oculus, etc., to a foreign government. And I'm saying that he could do it because, again, if the money's right, if there happened to be, a million left on his doorstep, to give information, he's likely to do it. I don't think he has any morals, because pretty much world profiteering off a war that's killing innocent people. He has no soul. Really, and the person that does that has no soul, in my opinion, has no soul, and is soulless. And that's just my total opinion on it. I might just say straight out, because I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not very happy about it either. Everybody in Ireland shouldn't be very happy about this, because it's disgraceful stuff. But as I said, the Social Democrats did the right thing. I'm not going to blame Holly Collins, because obviously Holly Collins couldn't have known. I hardly doubt she knew that this fellow was doing this behind, because again, it's outside of the Social Democrats, I suppose. Unless they did know about it, but I hardly doubt she knew about it, or any of them knew about it. So I won't blame the whole Social Democrats, but they did the right thing, get rid of him. But I do say it's up to him now to resign or to be kicked out. That's the idea, because I do deem him a national security risk at this stage. That's the idea. I don't think the government have, not the government, but the media too, have looked at it that way. Because if he's willing to war profiteer, he's willing to sell his country out, if the money's right. Pretty much to this company he used to work for. Again, he have probably friends in the Israeli military, etc., etc. It's just the stating the blind obvious and stating the truth. That's what I take it. That's what I see, anyway, and I'm sure many people probably see it, because he shouldn't be there, first of all, because it's disgraceful for somebody to be in Dáil Éireann with this kind of record, that war profiteered, that only looked after his own pocket. But I could say many more things, but it's just one more thing before I go about it. It was funny, before the election to Dáil Éireann, before the general elections come by, he was looking for financing his campaign. So, he had 200,000 euro worth of bonds, and probably hundreds of thousands in money, in cash, etc., etc. And he was looking for money off you and me, the people, to run for the Social Democrats in his area. And now, to be totally honest, I feel sorry for them people who did donate to him, and they should donate every penny that was given to him by people, only members of the public who wanted him to be elected, thought he was a good guy. They should be refunded, of course. They should be refunded, because he didn't need the money. He said, but I didn't need it. He had hundreds of thousands of euro in the bank. He didn't need people to. And I think that's very scummy too, to be totally honest. They put it in the nicest possible terms. That's what I deem it as. Because he didn't obviously need it. So I don't know why he was asking for the money of ordinary Joes to give to him to run for Dáil Éireann when he had hundreds of thousands like this lying there. It's just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. Now, he should give every penny back to every member of the public to give them a penny. That's in my opinion. I don't think the media have touched on that, but it's the truth. I've seen things on social media about it that he did campaign for it. But that's another thing too. And I suppose it does raise the question about campaigning too, like that. There needs to be looked into. If TDs shouldn't probably be able to campaign, like, people, we should look at how much they own, etc., etc., before they can do GoFundMes, etc., etc. But anyway, long story short, I do think it's disgraceful, but I do commend the Social Democrats for getting rid of him. And hopefully we'll resign his seat, because it's in the interest of the state, it's in the interest of everybody. We don't want somebody like him in the Oculus. We don't want him. He can go over to some other country, and if he wants to. But he shouldn't be a member of Dáil Éireann here. And I'm sure the members of the public of Dublin Bay South would probably say the same if the election was held again and he was up and they knew about this. Because the only Joe who voted for him didn't know that he was doing this. Nobody knew. So that wasn't, at least if he did disclose before the election, at least then you could say, he was being upfront with the people. But the people were kind of sugar-coated and didn't know the truth about what was happening. Anyway, let me know what you think, subscribe more, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.